Since so many of you have asked, here's a full breakdown of the Pongbot Nova S Pro. The number one thing that makes this robot different is that it sits on the table. The average robot you have sits maybe this far behind the table. Every single shot always comes from this spot, no matter what you want to do, serves, whatever. It's extremely limited. Yes, they have the auto feeders and the balls go in the net and then they come back up into the robot and they shoot out again. That's convenient. I'm not saying that's not convenient. It is less convenient to have the balls here. But if you're really invested in advancing your game and getting a realistic training experience with a robot, you're not going to get that from one that can only shoot the middle. How often do people in a match only hit you from the middle? Serves don't even come from the middle most of the time. Most of the time serves come from the corner. So the cool thing about this robot is that you can put it in the corner. Not only that, but it has this feature where when you turn the top right here, you can turn it and it makes the ball side spin. It's just as strong as the top spin and the underspin is, but when you rotate this thing, you can rotate left side spin and right side spin. Not only this, you can also put it shorter on the table and aim it down so that when the ball comes out, it shoots down into the table. It's literally exactly like a serve. I don't know of another robot that has this kind of functionality. For me, number one, first and foremost, the tabletop design is the best. There's no other robot that gives you this amount of functionality and realism in your training like this robot will. For example, the Butterfly Amicus, the big name brand robots, the spin production is great, the customization is great. I'm not taking away from those robots. It's very convenient that they have auto feeders, of course, but it's not realistic for a real game to only play balls coming from the middle. That's not realistic. If you're only used to the ball coming from the middle, your game is already cut down by 2/3 because balls come from here and here as well. This robot uniquely gives you the ability to create a full-fledged simulation of what it's like to actually play table tennis, even if you don't have a partner. And that includes serve receive, rally, anything you can possibly think. You can practice against lefties. You can practice against righties. It's so dynamic and useful. The tabletop feature is overpowered. There's not another robot that has a feature this overpowered, in my opinion. Other than having the ball auto feeder feature, there's absolutely no reason to get a different robot other than this one. And honestly, in my opinion, the auto feeder feature is kind of useless anyway, because if you're like me, after 1 or 2 minutes, you can't breathe anyways. I don't understand why people think that they need to have a machine that can play for 5-10 minutes straight without stopping. You can't even play for 5-10 minutes straight without stopping. It makes more sense to get something that maybe you do have to stop after a minute or two to pick up the balls and put them back in, but you get a way more realistic training experience. The advantages that come with this when it comes to real life training are endless. The next standout feature from the Pongbot is definitely the random setting. You can set up various different placements on the table and then have the robot decide randomly where to go. For me, there's no limit to this application. If you're working on your side-to-side transition, you can put the ball side to side, random. If you're working on coming in and out, short ball, long ball, short ball, long ball, put it random. You have no idea what's coming next. You have to actually really train. To me, this is the closest thing that I can find to actually really training with people when it comes to my footwork. If you're still at the beginner level, the random setting isn't quite as important because you're still kind of getting down the basics. You're learning your techniques and things like that. Once you have a solid technique, it's way more important that you have random in your daily training session. You have to have something random because once you have your techniques down, you need to be training your brain, not just your body anymore. You need to be training your eyes, your reaction time, things like that. And you need to be able to do that in a controlled setting that you have the ability to manage and the ability to control the quality and the timing and things like that. So, same thing, you can put the ball from the left side and work on going wide because lefties always want to go wide. You can work on catching the wide ball from lefties. For righties, you can work on righties going down the line when you least expect it, always backhand, and then down the line. You're able to work on these things in a very specific and regimented way with a robot like this, where, in my opinion, for other tabletop robots that have the same functionality of being able to position them on the table and replicate different areas, they're mostly very low quality robots. For example, the iPong robots that are, the hourglass ones that everybody has when they're a beginner. The quality that those robots produce is very low, although the functionality of being tabletop is high. So in my mind, up until now, there's always been this disconnect between low function but tabletop and high function, but always in the middle. Now we have something that's new and different, and it has both. And in my mind, Pongbot is set apart from the rest because of this. You're able to play random shots at high qualities anywhere on the table, simulate real, actual tournament experiences, as well as the ability to randomize the situations to keep your brain going. For me, there's no other way to simulate playing with a real person at a high level than with this robot right here. For the final part of this video, I'm going to run you guys through a little bit of the Pongbot app, and I'm going to show you the maximum quality that this robot is capable of producing. So as you can see, you start out in this tabletop mode. Because this is the Nova S Pro, the only choice here is the tabletop mode. Pongbot has other robots that aren't all tabletop, so that's why it gives you this option. First, we're going to pick tabletop mode. As you can see, there are pre-programmed drills on the Pongbot already, as well as the ability to customize your own drills. In my opinion, the pre-programmed drills are excellent for beginners. They're good quality, good timing. You know, it's not too fast, not too crazy. I think it's perfect for beginners. For me personally, I use the custom drills because I tend to want a little bit more quality in my receive, as well as the balls to come a little faster, things like that. If you're looking for a nice, stable beginner kind of robot, all of the pre-programmed drills will probably be all that you need as you start to develop your style. If you're already a good player and you have the basics down, if you already have some decent techniques, you're definitely going to need to be customizing your own drills and creating kind of your own relationship with the robot. For me personally, I customize almost all my drills that I use. I don't really use the pre-programmed ones just because for me they're a little simple. As you can see, when I go in here, I have a lot of custom drills I've already created. These are very specific and treat different parts of my game. But I went ahead and created a little showcase for you guys so that you guys can see how much top spin this thing can make and how much underspin this thing can make. So if we go into this top spin showcase, you can see this is kind of like a little prep. It shows you about the drill ahead of time. If I go into the edit, you can see everything that I've done to move this around. You can see here, you can move the ball's drop point left and right, like this. The height, you can make the ball go out farther and lower, things like this. Of course, there's the speed, the spin, and then frequency is how often it shoots. If there's need, I'll definitely make a full video on how to use the app and some of the nice drills that I've created for myself. But for now, you know, I'm not getting into all that. So for now, we can go ahead and do the top spin showcase. I designed this drill to be a custom showcase of just how much top spin this machine can give. So let's see what she's got. So you can see I got a totally flat angle here. No tricks, no nothing. Ooh, I got one in. Yeah, this thing's just loaded. You can tell the ball's just flying. It has nothing to do with me. That's all top spin. Very, very strong quality. So if we run it over to the underspin showcase, same thing here. I designed this drill to showcase how much underspin this machine can really give. So let's see what she's got here. So yeah, let's start with we can start with the open angle. You can see that ball is just straight in the table, absolutely directly down. So if I start to lift my angle, we can start to really get an idea of how much underspin this really is. Even as I lift my angle, you can see not really doing anything to lift the ball up. See, in my mind, this quality is unrealistic. No human can even make this much quality. So if I want to lift the ball, I have to pick the ball up like this. If I just try to use my angle, there's no chance. So as you can see, the top spin and the underspin this thing can make are absolutely insane. Like I said earlier, all you have to do is rotate that nozzle and that same spin comes out sideways. The spin quality that you're going to get from this robot, completely unmatched for the price in my opinion. When you throw in the fact that it's tabletop, which gives you all kinds of variety, as well as the ability to customize random variations in your drills, I really don't think there's a better training tool out there right now than this for the average player who's looking to get better without a lot of access to people to play with. I've been using this robot for 6 months. You guys have been seeing it in my videos. You know I believe in it. You know I love it. But I wanted to take some time and make sure that you guys know why I love it and why I think it's the best robot. Pongbot and I have a great relationship. So if you guys want to get your own Nova S Pro, make sure you go to Pongbot and you put in the code Nathan5 to get a discount. I'm really happy to help you guys get a tool that's this useful and this good into your own home so that you can start to develop your game like me. You guys know me. I'm here every day. I train every day. Make sure you follow me so you can keep up, and you'll see more of the Pongbot in my videos to come. Thank you.